start off by saying congratulations. I know the release is coming up very soon for this film. So, what's that like getting to film this, put all this love and effort into it, and now soon getting to hear people's reactions to it?
Yeah, that's always a big payoff when you have a film, especially when you have a film that kind of comes in as like an underdog and it kind of creeps up and people watch it and they're like, wow, unexpectedly I liked it and there's not these big shoes to fill. I think that always it's easier to feel the magic in that of what film actually is than vice versa. Then when there's a big expectation for something and it hits, I don't think it's ever as fulfilling as when there's something that is of this size but has that level of reverberation through the community.
Definitely.
you know
And there are a vast variety of action and thriller films in that genre specifically. What was it about this film that stood out to you and made it something you wanted to be a part of?
well, the fact that it's empowering to women, I think, was one aspect of it that I enjoyed being a part of. But I think Michael's vision, Michael Hayda's vision, when we spoke about it, and the way that he was very laser focused. I mean, there's other words that I can use that I don't think are appropriate, for an interview, but he's definitely has a focus where you're like, this guy's either bananas and this thing is gonna end up like falling apart, or he is like really brilliant. But some of the stuff that he was talking about mounting shots and then how he was gonna edit different things and like his general idea really made me confident in that he knew exactly what he was doing. And it was that level of dedication that made me feel like, oh yeah, this is what I want to be a part of you know
Definitely. And it does cover some very serious topics at points. So I'm wondering, on the lighter side of things, what was the best or most memorable moment on set for you guys?
I think every day was a great, honestly, like was there like a great day? Was there the part that we like took pictures with that, fake head on a steak and we all were like, taking pictures, serving it tea?
Yep.
Was there stuff like that? Yeah, there was, but every day was a great day. Our days were very long, but they never felt long because we were constantly like, um we were just enjoying it. We were laughing. I think that when you're laughing through a film, even if it's heavy, like even if it's fun, whatever it is, like the days just seem so much shorter, and they're calling the end of the day. You're like, oh wow, hey, what are you guys doing after this? They're like, dude, it's 1 in the morning. We're going home. And you're like, oh right, we got to be back at 7:30 tomorrow. Right, right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, let's go. But you wanted it to keep going in a bit of a way. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, we were having a good time on it.
I know from everyone I've talked to in the cast and crew, they're all fingers crossed for a second film. Is that something that you would be up for? I mean, considering how greatly you talk about your coworkers.
Yeah, I would always be open to be able to do more stuff with them. I really enjoy working with Michael Hayda specifically, and yeah, the whole, in terms of having him direct something. Yeah, and Alvaro, like everyone played their part wonderfully. It's not just, when you're doing a film, we focus a lot on the characters that you see, but really what make these films come together a lot of the times the characters you don't see. And these guys were really, everybody played their part really well.
Definitely. And it is very action heavy at points. So I'm wondering, what was the process like for stunts, and what was your process like for getting into this role with all of that in mind?
Um, rehearsals, coordination, having the right people there that know what they're doing, having the right angles for shots. I mean, the magic and the artistry do play a big part of it, and so being able to have people that know what they're doing make your days go by a lot faster with a lot less injuries.
Definitely. And I love that it follows kind of identity and transformation, especially for Dominique. What did it teach you about yourself as a creative, but also what do you think your character learned from you?
I, you know, I think that the main lesson that my character learned was never underestimate your adversaries. Never judge a book by its cover. And, when wrath finally shows up, it's going to come at you like a thief in the night. So be ready. I think that was one of the main lessons for the characters. Again, there's a lot of empowerment. That it deals a lot with the dark feminine.
Hmm.
And I think that it's a wonderful lesson for, especially where we're at right now in such a transitional place, as a world community, to have films like this that show women, even somebody's got to play Shiva, somebody's got to be the destroyer of worlds. And it was just like, it was nice to see her do it.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always loved foreshadowing and the use of it in film. So I'm wondering, I've watched it twice now. Is there a personal part or a scene that you think viewers might not catch on to as being foreshadowing their first watch around? Or is there
Why
one
don't
that
you
stands?
tell me what you thought was your favorite foreshadow?
Oh,
What
I
was
have
your
so
favorite? If you
many.
saw it twice, tell me. Like, what was your? I can talk about like my walk up when you first see me, and we're talking about the two guys. When we catch them with the passport scenario. We can talk about some of that. But I mean, what were some of your favorite like subtle moments? Not just with me, but with anybody, because it's the film is an entire story.
I love seeing the transition with the kids. Like when she first sees the kids, you can tell that she's not a huge fan of them. But I love that throughout it, the closer and more time they spend together, you see her not only become like a mother figure, but you see her become more confident in her duty to protect these kids and
Yeah,
also work for the greater good as a female.
yeah, yeah. Again, like the messages here for women, I think are very subtle. Maybe sometimes not so subtle, but they have a definite sense of empowerment, and it's really wonderful to see. And it's really wonderful to have a woman see it, and I don't want to say that you felt empowered necessarily, but to see those aspects kind of playing out where a woman can, you know, have her feet in both worlds.
Definitely. I feel
So
like this is definitely going to touch a lot of women, but people around the world, hopefully. I know having a female empowerment as your lead is always great, but what do you hope people in general, not just women, take from this?
um I think that the main lesson for people to take in this film is never judge a book by its cover. You know,
Definitely.
I
Yeah,
think that's the most basic, lesson. I mean, yeah.
definitely. And my last question for you, apart from the acting, music and score is a huge part of how we portray film. So I'm wondering, what is a song that you would use to describe this film as a whole?
I don't know. It'd probably be something by Audio Slave.
Okay,
It would probably be some kind of like, song by maybe Kachai's by Audio Slave, or but then there's more. There would definitely be something in that regard. There's a heartfelt feeling to it, but there's something also very hard and dark to it, and very kind of rock and roll about it. I mean, Oksana is very rock and roll.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for your time and congratulations on everything again.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gracie. It was wonderful to meet you and talk to you.